All right, let's take a look at those incoming numbers once again. Currently, these are live standings. 133, firstly, of 23,293 voting districts have been completed. Let's look at the current board number leaders on that board. That is the ANC there with about 13,383 votes with a total of 49.37 support, followed very closely by the DA, of course, at 26.22%, with just about 7,100 votes. And of course, trailing very closely behind them is the EFF there with votes of 1,947, with, of course, support sitting there at 7.18%. All right, we're going to take you back now to our reporter Lula Mamakia for the final crossing of the morning, of course, as vote counting steams ahead after the country held the national poll yesterday. Lulama, so the last time I spoke to you, you were, of course, engaging with the IEC in terms of gauging just how far they are in terms of counting those votes. How far are you in that regard at this stage?
Thanks once again, Alicia. I'm not sure whether I should say good morning or good night, as after this crossing I'm going to bed and have a deep sleep. Yes, counting is continuing. Political party agents that are here at the Western Cape Results Operation Center are monitoring that scoreboard. The Western Cape has been identified as one of the battleground provinces when it comes to this election. The province is under the control of the DA. If Alicia, maybe I can just mention the parties that are represented now in the provincial legislature is the DA, ANC, EFF, the Good Party, ACDP, FF Plus, and Al Jamaa. But political analysts and observers have been saying that the emergence of smaller political parties are going to be a pain for the DA. They are going to make a dent in the majority of the DA. I am joined by some of those smaller parties. The African Restoration Alliance, it does not have a seat currently in the provincial legislature. It contested the previous local government election and it won 2 seats, and it's represented in the city of Cape Town. I am joined by Charmaine Haywood. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
It's been a long night.
Extremely long, but we're still here.
That's great. And it's going to be long because when we're looking at the scoreboard, well, there's nothing much we can write home about. It's still early, but as ARA, I'm sure you want to improve from that position.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not even moved by what I see now because it's still very, very early stages. And I know, going back to 2021, when we registered the party, and in 2 months' time, we got 2 seats in the city. So that was extremely good. So I'm very positive. This is only the beginning stages. We still have a few more days, and we believe for a few hundred votes to come in still. So I think we're going to surprise some political parties.
The IEC provincial officer, Mr. Michael Hendrikse, indicated that for now, those voting districts are not in Cape Town. Outside Cape Town are small districts. Where would you say is your strongholds that you're relying on to get those votes?
We actually, the city of Cape Town, definitely, that is actually our strongholds. We worked extremely hard. We've been working in the community all our lives, I would say, for years. So based on that and what we've been doing now, preparing for elections, we know that we've been on the ground and we know we planted the seed and we're going to reap the harvest. We also George and Mossel Bay, Beaufort West in George and Mossel Bay. We're extremely busy there, and we also believe that we're going to get quite a few seats from those municipalities.
So you think that you're going to make a dent in the majority of the DA in control of the province?
Oh, absolutely. I think DA is very concerned. Although they say this with smaller parties, I believe that Africa Restoration is not a small party. We actually, our membership is over 50,000 just in the city of Cape Town. So we're not a small party. So I believe that they are watching out for ARA, and they are very concerned.
What made you to establish, or your leadership to establish ARA?
ARA was the leader, which is Dr. Jerome Swartz. I believe it is something that was birthed in his heart. He's a people's person. He's a community worker. He's also, if I may say, a pastor of a few churches, over 20,000 membership. He's really somebody that invests in people, you know, how to speak to people. He's got doctorates, he's educated, and he's a person that started Africa Restoration, and the name alone is really biblical, if I can say. There's a meaning to all that, and especially the focus on the R, which is restoration. We believe that we want to bring restoration to our community, we want to bring restoration to our families, we want to restore dignity within our communities.
Thank you very much for your time, and good luck, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Alicia, I'm also joined by ActionSA, Sandy McDonald. She's been here as well overnight, monitoring that scoreboard, looking there. So far, ma'am, there's nothing we can write home about. It's still too early. But as ActionSA, what are your anticipations?
So yes, as you say, it's definitely very early days still for us here in terms of counting votes. I must admit, with this being quite a historic moment for us, being part of the provincial and national elections for the very first time as ActionSA, I got extremely excited when I saw the first vote for the province coming up on the board. We have been working quite hard to get the word out and get our party known within the province, and we do have a footprint and structures in all of the regions now, and I think we're holding our breath to see how well we do, and I think we're going to be quite an unknown factor and also quite a huge surprise, probably potentially for just the overall picture within the province.
You're talking about having footprints in many of the regions, but not in the city of Cape Town.
We do have, well, of course, we're not in local government here because we never contested in 2021. But there's definitely a history of governance definitely in Gauteng, and they did ActionSA did extremely well in 2021, only contesting 8 of the municipalities and getting a vote of 500,000 people, effectively putting it as the 6th largest political party within the country in one go. So I do think that there is going to be a surprise when it comes to our supporters. I don't think membership is necessarily the guide as to how many people will be voting for us. So, yeah, we're looking forward to seeing the outcome.
So you think that the performance of ActionSA in Gauteng in the previous local government election, as well as maybe the leadership position of party leader Herman Mashaba as the former executive mayor of the city of Johannesburg, will work in your favor?
I definitely believe that that track record does show that there is integrity and hard work and common sense approach, and combining that with our stellar policies, I do believe that it's going to be a very good outcome for us.
Do you have targets that you have set yourself for this election provincially and nationally?
I'm not really aware of any targets that we have set for ourselves. I think we are just going for the best target that we can. I am under correction, but I'm not aware of any targets specifically. Definitely we want to get a very good percentage, but I won't venture a guess at this point. we are aiming as high as we possibly can. We haven't had a very long footprint within the Western Cape, so I think we are definitely going to have an impact. How large the impact is, that is still to be seen.
Thank you very much for your time, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
That was the agent for ActionSA, Sandy MacDonald. It's those parties here in the Western Cape that are set, that it's predicted that they will make a dent in the majority of the DA, which is in control of the province. So far, when we're looking at the scoreboard, the DA is on top, followed by Patriotic Alliance. The third, at position 3 is the ANC, the FF Plus, and the EFF. Other parties have got double digits. It's those parties that I've mentioned that has more than 100 figures and above. As I said earlier, this province is regarded as one of the battlegrounds whereby there's so much contestation between political parties that are contesting the province, forcing, I would say, party leader, DA party leader John Steenhuisen at one point, where he was quoted as saying that some of these smaller parties that are campaigning here are opportunistic. He was referring to parties like Rise Mzansi, but if you're looking at the scoreboard for now, Rise Mzansi, there's nothing much on the party reflected on the board. Even the Bosa party, there's nothing much reflected on the board. Even ActionSA and the ARA that I've spoken to, for now, there is not much representation on the board. But as we continue to say, Alicia, it's still early days. We cannot say that we cannot determine for now the outcome of the election. We will see as the votes are continuing to trickle in, remembering that the majority of voters in the Western Cape are in the city of Cape Town. A party which will win the election in this province for this year will heavily rely on voters that are in the city of Cape Town. With that, back to you, Alicia.
Thank you so much to SABC News reporter Lula Mamaiki out at the Western Cape.